Hi, I'm Human Honda Civic Shrewboy313 and welcome back to Dragon Quest Monsters Joker. In the last episode we finished up at Kragravation, we defeated G-Man, the boss of Kragravation, and we rescued Melanie and Captain Mayday, and met Empire. A lot happened in the last episode. The way forward for us, in the form of Unshore, has opened up, and like I said, I might have said, in between like the last episode and now, I did train up my monsters. I did actually use a metal ticket and went to the metal menagerie. I didn't film that because I was just like off-screen training. But yeah, we have an entire new team, and you know, it seems appropriate considering we're heading into an entirely new area. Ta-da! Yeah, I think from what I said, this was my favourite area of this entire game. The Countess is here too for some reason. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure why I like this area, but my brain just tells me, oh, this is your favourite area in this game. It's time for that fun time. It might be best to escort her back to the Albatross. Yeah, one thing about Unshore is it's like filled with like mini bosses, I guess, in the form of these. Well, when it loads, you'll see. Oh, and there's my brand new team. Yeah, it's filled with tentacles, and I'm gonna be honest, I didn't actually name any of these monsters specifically. But we've got the Haxorus as our attacker, we've got a Pause as, I guess, a second attacker, and we've got a Hyper Hydra as the support class character, basically. But I mean, the tentacles, they aren't, like, they can hit every monster on your team at once, but ultimately they're not that strong, like, they're not too bad. Like, usually you can take them down in a few turns. Like I say, they're not too bad. Now, I'm gonna be completely honest, there we go, see, it's dead. And you get a nice little sliver of experience as well as a set of machine parts. Now, if I'm not mistaken, there are like, I want to say there's like 4 or 5 tentacles, like, just throughout Unshore. So I mean, this is a good section of the game to get like machine parts, just because it straight up gives you a bunch of them. So whether you wanted them or not, you're getting them. Right. Now again, before we go on, what skills do we have going on? We've got Huntsman, Bounty Hunter, Dragon Law, Gorilla, Anti-Metal and Graveheart, and we've got Healer, Defender and Greenfinger. So yeah. That's what we've got going for us. Was there a chest there? There was not. There's just it was just a second slime. Right. Now, obviously the only way forward is through that cave, but for now I'm just going to ignore it and go this way because, if I'm not mistaken, there's a few treasure chests we can get. And I mean, besides, there are obviously all of these new monsters as well. Now the shell slime, I realised we haven't got into a fight with one yet. They work broadly the same as they did in the first Dragon Quest Monsters Joker game. Like, low HP, really high defense. Essentially, they are defenders. Like, they have a habit of like, yeah, straight up just defending on their turn, or like using buff moves like that. But again, because they don't have a lot of health as it is, they are pretty easy to take down. Like, I feel like unless they're paired with monsters that are attackers, and they do manage to like buff those other monsters that are the attackers, that's closer to when, you know, they could be a problem. But other than that, they're not too bad. Right. I would like to keep going, and that's what, in my brain I hadn't opened that chest. Wow. We love short-term memory in this house. Right, okay, my brain tells me there's going to be something up there, so I'll get it on my way back, or I'll have a look up there on the way back if there is. And I mean, I suppose, well, we can see there's nothing in there. It's just a case of doing a quick loop of this little area. And again, my brain is telling me that there's probably, if not a chest, at least like an item, like a herb or medicinal item to pick up here. That's what my brain's telling me. Oh, there we go, there's a blue chest up here, nice. Alright, now, if I'm not mistaken, where... Ooh, another set of machine parts, nice. Where, like, isolation was more of like a windy path, and Cragravation was more of just like the literal climb up a mountain. This is Unshore, if I'm not mistaken. I feel like I need to disclaim that because I don't remember for certain. I want to say Unshore is another one more in the same vein of like as Cragravation in that it's more linear. I mean, I suppose every area is linear in this game, but I mean, I just felt like because like Isolation was a lot more like windy, a lot smaller paths. That's just all I was going off in my brain. Right, up here there is... I mean, there is... Ah, okay, there's a couple of leaves, I guess? Herbs? I don't know what you want to call them. But hey, it's free it's free healing items, so I'm not turning my nose up at them. Right. So then I think that's everything for this area. I'm not going to bother climbing up and over, because that is just like a... I want to say it's like a shortcut, but I mean, with the time it takes you to climb up and down ladders in this game, it's probably not going to be quicker. It's honestly probably easier just for you to run. Like, just to run around. I'm stuck. Oh, there we go. I just got stuck on the vines for a second. That was weird. Alright, and now I do have vague memories of this place. Like, we go through, like, not quite flooded caves, but, like, caves with water in them. And then there's... yeah, there you go. Flooded-esque caves. And... hey, counter... oh, it's just another tentacle, that's fine. And then, what was I saying? Again, there's, like, a section that seems more like a swamp-ish? It's like muddy water, but like really shallow. And to explain the sudden jump in music, my sounds died, but I managed to catch it before the little pop-up comes, or came. So yeah, another new monster. I mean, it is a new monster, like it's the first time we're seeing it, but I mean, obviously the sea urchins, they do have the little check. I did already like synthesize one in my, just like in my training. I don't know, they serve a similar purpose to how they did in the first one. I guess the emphasis or like gimmick on them is see, as in S-E-E, vision. They use like blinding moves, if I'm not mistaken. But I mean, they're not usually like too physically strong. I suppose being in like the area. Again, this is going off on a tangent, but this area is getting like close-ish to the end of the game. We found all of the people, like all of the passengers, and you know, we've pretty solidly filled in the map. So like, I wouldn't expect them to be, you know, weak, like little pipsqueaks. But either way, the sea urchins, they can be annoying, but ultimately they're not too bad. Right. And I mean, I suppose I never really addressed it as if it was like some kind of scandal. Like this episode, it's going to be very similar to like the other first episodes in a new area. In 2 new monsters. In that it's literally just going to be exploring as far as I can. We've got Cure Slimes and Calamari Kids. Cure Slimes, they're healers, just like straight up. I want to say that they're like stronger versions of Heal Slimes, and that's about it. And calamari kids are weird. Like, in the last game, they appeared on Palais Isle and they didn't do much. Like, just straight up, they just didn't do a lot. And I honestly can't remember if that's, like, reflective of this game as well. Like, I fully just don't remember whether they do much in this game. Alright. And I was also just thinking, wow, we haven't really seen a healing pillar yet, but I realised we're literally in the second area of Unshore, so I don't know why we would. I mean, granted we did, like, we saw a healing pillar. Sorry, I just got taken off guard, I didn't realise I had any substitute monsters. Yeah, I realised we saw a healing pillar, like, almost immediately in Trepidation, but other than that... Right, what have we got? The Boreal Serpent. Yeah, Marsha wanted that for the proficiency test, didn't she? Right. So we can do the next level of the Monster Scout proficiency test when we get back to see Marsha. Right, come on, Tentacle, let's fight. Yeah, the tentacles, they're placed basically, like, throughout the... What is it? Just, like, throughout the required path of this area. And if I'm not mistaken, tentacles, they are, like, susceptible to status conditions, but I mean, you can't scout them, and they're weak enough that, like, unless you're getting, like, a free MP attack from it, you might as well just, like, do what I'm doing and go with your regular attacks. Because, like, excluding the fact, like, the detail that all of my monsters have hit squad and hit multiple times, it went down, like, on my fourth move, technically. Ooh. Sorry, I saw the little... I want to say, I don't know if it's a mining spot, but, like, the spot that you get, like, pretty pebbles and, like, well, stones out of, basically. Right. And again, this is, like, this area is going to be like a lot of the others, like, first time we fight a monster, I'll show it. My sounds have died, they're back. Yeah, the first time we fight a new monster, I'll show it, but after that, unless I'm, like, on a serious tangent, and, like, confidently talking about something and don't want to get interrupted, I'm just going to cut the fight out. Like all of these. Or I was going to cut this fight out, but there's a metal slime here. Yeah, this was, just honestly, like, metal monsters was, like, kind of part of the reason why I wanted monsters that have hit squad. Because, I mean, obviously every attack takes its own, like, a chance with accuracy, I guess. And I suppose if you have a monster that hits twice, like you saw there with the Haxorus, like, I used Metal Slash. I never said Metal Slice. I used Metal Slash and it hit twice, like, with a desired effect. Now, I will say, had the Metal Slime run away on its first turn, I would have just cut this battle out, because what difference would it have made? It would have just been, like, taking down 2 sea urchins. And I mean, we wouldn't have got 1100 experience otherwise. Right, Paul's got skill points. I nearly said experience. Which, I mean, technically is true, but... oh well. And I do realise it probably would, at this point, like... Break Wind, that is a move I'm not going to use. But, I mean, at this point, I just wanted to do it just to get close to finishing off Gorilla. That's literally the only reason I'd put them in there. I mean, it really, you know, in reality, it would have been better to focus on anti-metal, because obviously Metal Slash and Oomph. Well, again, here's another new monster. So I'm just gonna kind of, like, ignore it to go over here, or ignore them to go over here, because I don't know whether there's... Hey, it's coming for me. Whether there's, like, a chest... There's not. I was going to say whether there's, like, a chest or a dig spot, if that's what you want to call them. The little ore spots. I don't know, but there weren't. There weren't / wasn't. and like I was thinking but didn't speak out loud, that seemed like a good space to put a chest. And a red one at that. Right, also, another new monster. If I can run up behind this one before it sees me, hopefully. Side on, close enough. What do you want from me? I tried. Well, there's only one of them, but the Octavian Sentry. I'm gonna be honest, they're the kind of one of those monsters that I completely don't know anything about. Completely don't have a clue what they do. Oh, hatchet. Are they like attackers? I don't know. Because, like, in my mind, I know they have a move that, yeah, hold. Yeah, sorry about that. Height of professionalism, I know. In my mind, I was gonna say, I know that they have that, like, their skill set, I guess, is Thunderwind Slashers. So, I mean, I suppose they're attackers? Question mark? Because I'm not entirely sold myself. Like, I'm saying the words, but I'm not entirely sure I believe them. Right, and because I was just gonna heal my monsters outside of battle anyway, I might just get a little head start. Might as well. Right. Sick. Yeah, I suppose that is the downfall of having monsters that hit multiple times. Because each one, obviously, is an individual attack, there's a chance that they all could miss. Or that, like, one could miss and you only end up doing, like, half damage. It's a sad fact, but it's like, I don't know, risk and reward? Something to do with that? Right, how quick? Oh, perfect, there we go. Might as well chew through some medicinal herbs. I nearly said medicinal. Right, next area. God, this is only the third area. Oh, it's a short one, it's fine. And it doesn't look like there's new monsters here. And see, off the top of my head, I know there's one monster that we didn't fight. The fish that maybe you saw, it was in the first area. Like, there was that we didn't fight. Yeah, there are quite a few, because, like I said, there's like the swampy area. Sorry, my phone went off. There's like, I say swampy, it's like that area in Trepidation where the Muddy Hands and the Mudman. A muddy area, not a swampy area, if that makes sense. There are muddy like jungle-y areas. I realise I'm just rambling, but at this point that's what 90% of my commentary is. I just completely didn't even acknowledge the fact that there was another tentacle. Because, I mean, you've seen, what, 2 of them already? Oh. There, I was about to say, there it is. There was the attack that hits all of them, but I lied, I'm sorry. Right. Ooh. I don't know why I was surprised at the machine parts. Like, what was I expecting? Something different? They always drop them. Right. Anything around there? I'll just take a peek. Ah, another red chest. Don't worry, I'll cut this out for you. I won't force you to watch. Ta-da! We did it, ladies. Oh, sorry, I just went silent there because, like, I mean, when I'm recording this, it's June. Like, I'm recording this the day before it goes up, or like the day before it goes live. Hey, look, there's a pause there as well. I was about to say I forgot they were here. I didn't. My brain never registered it. So yeah, sorry. I've got my window open because it's June and it's getting hot, and where I live does not ventilate temperature well. So, like I say, I've got my window open, fully just inhaled, and I can smell someone cooking something outside, and it smells so good. And speaking of the healing pillar, there we go. Now, and this might not entirely be the halfway section of Unshore. Completely forgot the name for a second, not gonna lie. But I mean, the healing pillar. Hey, look, a metal slime. The healing pillar seems like a good spot to end this. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna end this here because I'm out of water and I need a drink, and also it's a good ending spot. So thank you for watching, and in the next episode we will continue chasing the Countess through Unshore. And I'll see you then. Goodbye.